Can't say this is the prettiest thing I've ever made. What do you think this is, the Food Network? Alright, so today we're talking about a new trend that is sweeping TikTok. And lucky for you, it doesn't involve people strangling each other or any of that nonsense. On a recent episode, we made homemade butter using a jar. And it was a lot of fun, not to mention really delicious. Then I got to look at the camera and do this, and not feel guilty at all. Stop! So today I figured we'd expand on that and talk about a new TikTok trend that also involves butter that a lot of people are saying is the new charcuterie board. And that of course would be the Butterboard.
Let's try it.
But first, well of course people close to me are telling me to pick more interesting topics. One person tells me, no, the Butterboard is not the new charcuterie board. And of course Ethan said, the Butterboard is not sweeping TikTok. I don't know what you're talking about. But then one friend one time told me that I do have the tendency to make boring topics a little more interesting. Then I saw this cutting board at Costco for 20 bucks and I knew I just had to have it. But since some people might find this triggering, I just remembered my mother bought this other cutting board that we haven't used yet. Oh, don't worry. I'll find a use for this. I'll save this for when I actually make a charcuterie board.
This is a Lunchable.
And if I take too long on that, I'll just save it for my wedding night. Ready, sweetie? Alright, baby. Give me your worst. Crazy. But without any further ado, let's make a Butterboard. To make a Butterboard, at the very least, you'll need the following. Some butter. Consider using Kerrygold, makers of fresh Irish oh, what? They didn't pay the ad fee. In that case, you can use whatever brand of butter you want. Some warm, crusty bread. And of course, the board you'll be serving on. For easy cleanup and food safety purposes, first put a piece of parchment paper on top of your serving board. We'll get to the reason in just a little bit. Take some butter that has been left to soften at room temperature for about 30 minutes, then spread and flatten it on one section of your board. Then honestly, the world is your oyster, and you can put whatever toppings and or seasonings you want on top of your butter. We'll try 3 different variations. For the first one, we'll put some shredded Parmesan cheese and some hot chili oil over the first section. For the second, we're gonna put some pumpkin seeds and dried cranberries for a nice fall taste. For the third, we're gonna put some cinnamon and sugar on top for a nice, damn, this is good taste. Have some warm, crusty bread slices ready so you can go ahead and dig in. And there you go, a nice Butterboard made the Rangel way. Now I can't imagine Keith's gonna eat all that by himself. I can't say this is the prettiest thing I've ever made. That would be the ice scramble. What do you think this is, the Food Network? Alright, just so I can give you guys a better idea at home, let me take a little video with my phone here, just give you a better idea of what this looks like up close. Get a little selfie there. I know the Butterboard has had its critics. Some people think it's a goofy idea. Oh, one more thing. There you go. Just to give us the nice illusion that we're at a party, everybody's drinking. We're gonna do the first one. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, the butter's gotta go on the bread. Oh, okay, the bread already fell apart. Maybe I really should have put it in the oven, guys. Let's try it. I mean, it tastes like bread and butter with Parmesan cheese and hot chili oil. I think that's what it's supposed to taste like. Maybe it's because of the fancy presentation. Maybe I expected a little more or something. We have the pumpkin seeds and, of course, the dried cranberries. Let's see how that tastes. I have a butter knife right here, but I don't seem to want to use it. That would probably make my life a little bit easier right now. Let's see. Oh, it's not bad. It gives us that nice fall flavor we were talking about. I'll have another one. I'm going to use the butter knife. You know, that is so much easier. That is so much easier. Why did I do this video? Oh wait, no. Be positive, Keith, be positive. Taste it. I swear it's like going to Cinnabon. You know, this butter knife seems to be working so much better. I know the Butterboard has had its critics. Maybe some people say in a pandemic it's not the food safetiest thing to eat, but I mean, I love bread and butter. Is really putting it on a cutting board, is that really necessary? I'm not gonna lie, I think the real winner here is this butter knife. let Keith enjoy his butterboard, but let's take a look at those results. Honestly, I found the butterboard to be a little more trouble than it's worth. Hell, I love bread and butter. And yes, I love TikTok too. And yes, it was delicious. But honestly, I think there's a better way to do it. And that way doesn't involve flattening butter onto a cutting board and dipping our bread into it. Bread and butter will always have a special place in my heart. But the butterboard seems like a silly gimmick. The real winner is the butter knife. So the butterboard, I can't recommend it. And that, unfortunately, is the Rangel's angle on that one. Well, you just watched Keith make a fool out of himself talking about butterboards. But do you think it's harmless fun? You are wrong. Don't use a cutting board that was used at any point for cutting raw meat. Don't spread butter directly on a wood surface because cracks in the wood can hold bacteria. And why would you want to be dipping pieces of bread with your bare hands into the same cutting board? You think that's sanitary? Butterboards. You could die. I want to stress that I love bread and butter, but at the end of the day, the butterboard just seems like some silly gimmick that I probably won't ever make again. And that is the Rangel's angle on that one. But don't forget, we got more videos for you on the way, including more food videos, because I know a lot of people seem to love it when I talk about food. And you can find those videos on YouTube and Facebook. Remember, either way, it's .com/Rangel's angle. And when you're there, don't forget to hit subscribe, because we got more videos for you on the way. But before we go, before you watch more of my videos, I hope you enjoyed that little short film we had in the beginning of the episode. My mom is definitely not going to be happy about that one. But I'm sure everybody's wondering what happened to Keith, his imaginary wife, and of course, the cutting board. So let's take a look at part 2 of Keith's wedding night. The honeymoon's over. We'll see you next time, folks. Take it easy. No, honey! Honey, don't you even say anything! I said you could hit me! I didn't say you could beat me to death! I'm taking this stupid thing back to Costco! My mom was right about her.
You've been disqualified.